and he was trying to tell me that if I hang up on a guy, like let's say we're not getting along and we're arguing over goofy sports, and he's sipping, I'm sipping. I'll try and tell the young guy, I said, yo, I will hang up because it only is going to lead to a fight. You dig? None of us backing down. Your opinion is your opinion. You think it's great. I think mine. I think I'm right. And in sports, like I said, sports can lead to a whole bunch of negative stuff. So what I would do, and I was trying to let the guy know how I got older, I got more wise. I said, so for me, I'll just hang up. I know where it's going to end up going. Nah, hanging up. That's a feminine move. Some shit like that. He was saying like that. That's what girls do. So I'm like, so you'll stay on the phone and argue the sport shit, Brady versus Joe Montana, until one of y'all see each other and fight at Wawa. Like that's a man move, and that's what led to the live. Actually, that was his decision to go live, like something like that.
Did y'all end up parting ways on good terms?
No, he listen. For one, he can't handle it, right? He and my other friend can't handle it. My other friend won't call me for years, like, and he's back at it. Now that's the bully friend. That's the friend. Watch your tone. Like he won't call me for a whole year or two. This dude Khalid will wait 2 months, 3 months before he call me again. So I don't like, you know me. You know how I'll tell you. I argue today and tomorrow I'm good. Not them.
Oh, they've been on the channel before, haven't
he? Yeah. They'll argue today and won't talk to you for 3-4 months. Now he's the same brother that no ma'am, I was making a whole different point, and I use this as a case in point. I was like, yo, I said, yo, by the way, do you know that if somebody had an object in their shirt, their hoodie, their jacket, and they go to rob somebody, I said, as long as the victims believe it's a deadly weapon, he's going to get charged for first-degree armed robbery. He said, no way. I'm like, yeah. He's like, no way. I'm like, bro, you thought I just made that shit up? He's like, no way. I said, okay, I'm going to find it for you. So I found it. I screenshot it to him, no man. And the dude would not say I was right. I mean, he sees the New Jersey law right there. Verbatim, it said all that. Everything I said. He would not say I was right. And he didn't call me for 2, 3, 4 months, no man. And then when he finally called me, he acted like that conversation never existed.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. I'm not that petty, like, oh, I'm not gonna get my feelings like that 2, 3 months, but with certain people, and I would assume maybe men is more so like this. I mean, I feel like most men, when shit go wrong, they gonna discuss it and talk about it. They just pick up like where they left off, like nothing happened. It's supposed to be like a silent understanding that they're good. But I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not.
It's not. I don't know if it's just with him. So I don't know if it's just him and a couple of my friends, or I don't know if it's like I don't know what it's a male thing. I don't know what it's about, but like that's pretty much common. Like people will not like look at ex-architect. He debated that alcohol is not a drug.
Man,
we read that shit in Spanish. In German. It's a drug, and he still today refused. And you know me, I can be petty. I'm on home private conversation. I'm like, yo, you know you're wrong, right? And he'll argue me down and watch.
I was on one of those. I was on a couple of those calls. He'll still argue that with you.
Yes, he will.
Yeah.
No, man.
So
I don't know. Go ahead.
Real quick, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but is that more ego, or is that more like I can't take an L in front of you?
Yes. I can't take an L. Yeah.
No, not just take an L. Take an L in front of you, because when no one's there, when he's looking alone in the mirror by himself, he gotta admit it.
Yeah.
He's not gonna give it to you. That's the petty part.
But I mean, I think it's easy for people to identify that on one side when it favors them, right? Like, I'm right in this situation, but you're too proud to take the L. It's easy to say that from that position of being right. But it's a lot of people that they're not graceful winners. So Like,
no. We're talking about people who are never wrong. Okay, Khalid is never wrong.
but what I'm saying though is, it's not that I don't think that it's the fact that he knows that he's not ever, wrong. I think internally, even people that think they always right know internally that they're wrong, right? You can hear it in their speech and their cadence. But I also give credit to the fact that I'm not the only person that they've encountered in their life. So I don't know what the experience has been when they've attempted to take ownership of when they're wrong and how that's been thrown in their face or how they've been taunted with it. Some people can be ungracious winners and it could put a bad taste in your mouth, right? Like, damn, I let you have it, but why you gotta drag it? Why you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, it makes me like, yeah, I know you're right, but I never let you get, I never give you the satisfaction of telling you that so you can try to throw it up or drag it or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I cannot go with that because I can show you 5-on-5 street ball games right now where you think these dudes about to fight, and guess what? They don't know each other either, so it's more easier to fight. They're in each other's faces. They're talking shit. Fuck you, nigga. He make a 3-ball, like he's pointing his finger in his face like he got a gun, like shooting it off. They going that far, and the person who lost, trust me, he's not happy, and he still can accept the loss. He can acknowledge the loss and give it up to the guy who won. And they damn about to fight out there, kill each other.
But wait, but what I'm saying is this the same person?
Nah, 5-on-5.
Okay, that makes, because you got 8 other people on the court who are going to agree or disagree with you irrespective. Now, if it's a one-on-one conversation, then they can fake ignorant or intellectually dishonest. I think that's what you're talking about. Like, a nigga is not going to give you yours, even if he knows you wrong. It's just, what I'm trying to say is there are certain people with those mental complexes, and also what Amber is saying, like some people may have been sincere and you know what, that was my bad. And then someone threw it all in their face and you're like, you know what, I'm never going to do it again. But I think what we're trying to distinguish the difference is some people who don't want to fuck with you. Like, I don't like the Watcher and I'm never going to give this, or I don't like Amber, I don't like Unbiased.
And that's what I think. I think people don't like to lose to me, the person.
Right. But now it could be. Question, go ahead, Amber.
But my thing is,
you there?
No, ma'am. You are.
What happened?
Okay, she on mute. She must got some background. But what were you gonna say? There she is. My God.
I'm saying you have to evaluate whether or not you're a gracious winner. If nobody likes losing to you, you need to evaluate if you're a gracious winner. If
that's not the narrative. You said that.
No.
Yeah.
I did not.
She's putting it on the table. I think she's putting it on the table as a possibility.
Yeah.
Like, this could be.
I did not. Watcher said it could be the way Amber said it, or in this situation, it could be like, oh, motherfuckers just don't like losing to Unbiased. I thought I heard that. Like,
right.
So that's where I was coming from. Like, if that's the case, then
let her finish what she say. If that's the case, what?
Yeah, I was just saying, if that's the case, then that lends credence to, if people have a problem with losing to Unbiased, then maybe Unbiased is not a gracious winner. Maybe it's nothing wrong. Maybe it's not they don't want to take accountability. Maybe you're not a gracious winner, and you know, it's just more of an ego thing. Like,
that's fair, and that could be a case. But I think with this particular situation, it's kind of hard to give him that credit because I've witnessed it, and this is so obvious. But just this example, like, again, obviously there are other situations that could be exactly correct with what you're saying. But I think in this example right here, I can't be that charitable to the dude and say Unbiased. Well, I can't. No, you know what? You're right, because Unbiased could have a percentage of it, but I think it's more 50%.
Yeah, he still has his fair share where he just has an issue with, being wrong or being accountable. Like to me, I say this, and don't take this the wrong way, Unbiased, but to me, it kind of proves the idea, because y'all was having a private conversation, right?
Right.
and y'all had a disagreement during that private conversation.
Right.
And it couldn't just be you got your idea, I got my idea. Y'all went live to discuss it. You went live.
Wait. He said, listen, he cut me off. He would never let me finish. I let him say what he had to say. He said, oh, let's go live. So I'm like, yeah, but let me just say what I'm going to say now, and I'll say it again on the live. He wouldn't let me say it at all. No, let's go live. So now I'm pissed off. Like, so I can't say what I'm going to say. You're going to keep cutting off so I go live. So he was adamant. I tried to talk. I said, dude, you're not a debater. You got no. So that's what I'm talking about shit. You got no experience, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all right, you're going to see it ain't going to work out for you. And that's like, he was adamant. Let's go live.
But you don't think both of y'all, the whole reason y'all started having this argument,
I get the blame.
This particular one's because y'all was already in like a beef or whatever, a disagreement, and you pretty much told him like, man, I'll hang up because I'm not going to be going back and forth, right? Yeah. And then he challenged how manly that was, right? Oh, that's not real nigga shit. Even though I didn't say it the other day when you brought it up, because you kind of kept talking, so I didn't get a chance to identify it. But you know, it was a passive aggressive dig. Like, I'm too real to be going back and forth on the phone with a nigga. I just hang up, right? And he said, "No, that ain't real nigga shit. You know, this, that, and the third. That's whatever women hang up." So y'all both at battle with each other's ego. Y'all continue to argue. Now, he wanted to go live, and that's wonderful, great to continue the discussion. But I think you probably went live because you figured you was right in the situation. Like, because you could have did your big one and just hung up. Because at this point, y'all going back and forth on the phone.
Like, no, he wouldn't let me finish, and then he wouldn't let me talk. So what I wanted to do, because like I said, the debate was goofy, the argument really. So there was like really no real topic. So what I just wanted to do, I went live. I want to show him that, yo, you're not a debater. And like, that's what I just wanted to show him. Like, yo, you don't know how to debate. Because there was no real topic. Like, because the watcher said, well, what's a real nigga? I'm like, yeah, great question. What is a real nigga? Because in his mind, he is, my mind, I am, you know, and that's just it. But let me say this, though. I am a gracious winner because you guys seen that this is on my channel. I run circles around them, and I'll be very respectful to those guys. And like, they basically take the L in front of everybody. They take the L and nothing. I don't run in their face, nothing. So even playing basketball, I'm humble.
First of all, I'm gonna need you to I'm gonna need you to let everybody else teach your horn. You talk your shit different. No, you not. And then in the boo boo, I beat you. God. Like, no, you don't do that. You don't do that. But you like, now you're in trouble. Now you're in trouble. I do this. I read this stuff.
But look, at the end of the day,
this for 4 years. I got a whole channel.
All right, but look
at this channel. Keep it real is real.
All right, nigga.
But look at the.
How do I know I was a Hebrew Israelite?
Yeah, but what you're not considering is at the end of the day, I always accepted the notion that if you give it, you gotta take it. So that's why I might be mad at you after the discussion is over, after I'm proven wrong, and I won't tell you right then and there you're right, but believe me, I'm gonna tell you before we talk again. I don't give a fuck how many years ago. I'm like, yo, because that's just how I am. I'm like, yo, no, man, yeah, you was right on that one. You dig? I might not tell you right then and there, but before our next conversation, that's gonna be in my mind. So I always, that's why when I do pop shit, I'm already ready for the loss. Because, you know, it's 50-50 really when you play basketball, bowl, and somebody who's your level. But I'm already psychologically prepared to take the L.
Yeah, but and I don't think that you have to be a sore loser in order to be a sore winner. I think you could be a gracious loser and not be a gracious winner, or you could be a gracious winner and not be a gracious loser. Like,
So
I
what's a
don't.
gracious winner? Let's start there.
I mean, to me, just humility. Like, okay, yeah, I got that one, but it's no big deal. Like, we all learning.
No. That's not reality in like black male society. That's not. Yeah, that's not at all. That's not the reality. That's not the
But
culture.
hold up. But we gotta also recognize that the black male society is kind of sick. So going along with the norm,
Right? Like, yeah.
going along with the norm, like that's the way it's supposed to be, may not be the right
Okay, so
default.
if you take it way back to Shaka Zulu, because I watched Shaka Zulu.
Okay, I'm about to go into the rabbit hole. Let's go.
Right, and when he be conquering, kicking ass, he ain't praying, bowing down, man. He chanting. Yeah, like that's just what black people do. Black men do.
Only the ones who can stand on sand without sandals. He was a rare motherfucker who was doing that shit. Everybody wasn't doing that. This nigga Shaka was a different breed.
Bro,
What I would say, I'm just being funny, but in the real,
I can give you. Okay, so now let's jump away from black folks. When Conor McGregor wins, is he humble?
that Irish drunk dude, these are characters. When he's getting his ass beat in the ring, he's
okay.
like,
I mean, you really can't
words.
talk about boxing, and boxing, that's part of the sport.
I can mention anything. Like people talk their talk.
Yeah, okay. Let me help you out then. Let me help you out. So let's keep it contemporary, and let's just keep it with the traditional man identity. When men are taught to, like cops, shoot for center mass, shoot till they're dead, stomp them out. If somebody hits you, you hit him back to the point he never wants to hit you again. So in that aspect, if that's the premise that you're going off of, and if you want to put that on top of like debating, having conversation, quote unquote, what do you call that shit? That rapping shit. That when niggas be battle rapping. Yeah, if it's like that type of shit when you're debating, then you kind of want to let your nuts hang with that as well. But if you're a gracious winner, sometimes you got to recognize when you're punching down. Like I remember I was on the phone, I was having a conversation with Focus one time, and he was trying to debate me about like the percentage of black or the black population, whatnot. And he was saying it was a higher number. I didn't even want to argue that. I felt I was right. I felt everyone listened I was right. So it's like, you know what? I think I won. So let me go ahead and move on. Let me get him to say it again. And let's go ahead and move on. So to me, that was a way of being a gracious winner. But I also sometimes I could be a shitty winner because with bias, and even DJ Focus, sometimes I'm listening to their arguments and I'll try to be charitable and steelman their arguments and help them out. And they'll get angry at me because they feel like I'm putting words in their mouth, or in other words, I'm just stepping on their toes. And nobody wants anybody stepping on their toes. Never outshine the master. So if you think you're smarter, you know your point better than someone, nobody wants to hear someone come along and say it a little bit sharper than you. So when I'm doing that, I end up pissing these dudes off, and I can be humble. I'm like, man, I'm trying to help, but let me fall back. But sometimes I get so frustrated because I want the conversation to go beyond that point. I'll start arguing with them. And even though I'm right, I'll hang up the phone and be like, damn, I was kind of rude to Unbiased. I was rude to Indigenous when he said that. I shouldn't have said that to Miss Tiff. I was trying to get my point out, but I was kind of disrespectful or uncut. So even though I was right, I felt there was a better way I should have handled that. So to me, that's an example of being like a sore winner, if that makes sense. Not saying you do it, because it's hard for me to find an example with you, but I'm just being honest up front with two examples where it's like, damn, I was in the right, but I still look wrong, or I was in the right, but he's not going to give it up. He's not going to admit it, but let me just fall back anyway, because I think enough people heard him say what he shouldn't have said. If that's what Amber's kind of alluding to.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've done it.
Y'all do it.
I mean, because, I try to give people, and it ain't even necessarily the charitable thing. If I present something, it's like, no, you don't know that. That's not true. What? So I'm just making this shit up. Like, huh? Is it, no, that's not true. That's your final answer? Like, yeah, oh, okay. Goes to Google, pulls up a few sources. Like, yeah, I mean, and I could let it go, but yeah, a little bit of ego and no, nigga, I said what the fuck I said, and I ain't changing it. I mean, we all do it, but I do think it's a problem when people have a hard time just every once in a while. I don't expect nobody to be like, oh, I fucked up so bad.
Maybe I should have.
Like, to me, like, I mean,
Okay.
it ain't no big deal. I like to get past shit. Like, cause my whole goal don't really to be right, just for people to come to an understanding. You know, now with some people that I feel like, okay, you being really disingenuous. Now my goal is to kind of prove you right, because now you just playing all in my face. I mean, to prove me right, because now you just playing all in my face. But for the most part, I don't care about being right. I just care about us coming to an understanding. And sometimes I'm cool with us not coming to an understanding. You know, like that's fine too.
Yeah, so many times, you know, for one, when you're competing, right? Poker, whatever it is, like, you know, the winners be having their ways, and the losers are never happy with the winners, even in poker. They're never happy, like with the winners. You know, they got side eye, and whatever you do, you smirk, you smile, you wave, you being funny. Like, that's how the loser's going to interpret it. You know, like, you damn near got to just hand them the money. Like, yeah, now you win, you got it. That's the only way they'll accept your win. You just hand them over your win. So,
do you really think that?
yeah. So now I want.
That's a very
but hold on.
view.
But let me add this in. So don't forget, the people I'm debating that I care about the acknowledgement of a win is not the win. It's respecting me. Like, dude, we're having a conversation. My mother, we're having a conversation. I said this, you said that, and you stand on your square, stand on my square. I take the time to go look the shit up. I bring it back to you. Acknowledge it. Oh yeah. It was that. Now, these are not strangers on the internet. I'm talking about people I actually know and hang with and talk with. Smart on the internet, I wouldn't care. If indigenous didn't, I don't want to hear that. I don't be trying to convince that dude about Margaret Sanger. I love to take the challenge when he bring it up, but I'm not there trying to beat it in his head where he have to bow down and say I won. I don't care about that. But when it comes to people I know and I should be cool with, I believe I'm owed that respect, because I will give it to them.
I can understand that, but I also, like, I have some people that I know better than to require certain things of, because they just incapable. Like, I don't give a fuck how right. Like, I know some people that real life never gonna admit they wrong on shit. Like, and I dare not.
We all got different tolerances, a different type of people, right?
You said, huh?
We all got different tolerances of different, like, bad characteristics in people, correct?
Yeah.
Fair.
Right. Okay. My low tolerance is those type of people.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Now, see, I don't blame you, because
I cannot hang around them at all. Zero.
Yeah.
It's a form of gaslighting and mental manipulation.
And it actually pissed me off. Like, so maybe they know that. That's why they don't want to tell me I got it. Because it actually pissed me off.
Right.
Yeah, like,
go ahead, Amber.
I was finna say, like, I was finna commend you, like, because it sounds like you in situations and dynamics where people never want to admit that they're wrong. And for me, I block them motherfuckers. Like, no, I'm serious. Like, it's plenty of people I do not talk to. And they're like, no, I ain't talk to them. They block, and I'm not going to. Like, the fuck? Yeah. Like, because you'll start to feel a little crazy. Like, I know the fuck I ain't.
Facts.
Okay. So don't forget, my tolerance is a little higher. I said this many times, recorded. My tolerance is a little higher for young black men. What I say, 29 and down. And I say I got less tolerance for. So I do have a meter. So I give the youth more leeway. You know, I'm not.
I feel like it's opportunity for them to grow and learn.
Yeah. So I don't want to write them off right away.
Yeah.
Right. And if we're talking about Khaled, I think he's a genuine brother. I didn't really understand the point of contention, like, but I think that I think unbiased can get through to him in certain areas, and vice versa.
But I think men have the same challenges in their relationships as that women do with younger women.
Break it down.
Like, so you can be a mentor to someone that's younger than you, and they can appreciate that, but to a certain extent, especially when you get to the younger adults, you know, sometimes they can feel like you coming off a little preachy or a little, you know, judgmental, or like, so it's a it's a balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can converse with me, but you're not going to teach me shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not saying that unbiased is doing it or nothing like that, but it's just like that energy of you got to make sure that, yeah, I'm kind of a mentor, but let the person know that you're like a friend more so than anything. Because once it starts to kind of, that scale starts to tip, it's like, hold the fuck on. You think you're an authority figure over me. You know, like, who the fuck, man, I'm grown as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know I like to think I'm still connected to the youth and shit. You know I like to think that, but then I also have to realize these girls is different. You know, I'm young in my own right, but I'm not young like they young. You know, they looking at me like, girl, yo, all that ass, you don't be doing shit, you don't be on shit. Like, so I don't know. For me, I feel like it's the same dynamic in men, maybe more so, but I think women can be a little more, you know, snobbier when it comes to shit like that. But yeah, I think it's, you know, men got their own egos, and, you know, I'm a man and we can talk, we can have a conversation, but, you know, I don't need you to be trying to teach me nothing.
Yeah, that's more the leader and boss shit, because a lot of people they don't want to follow, they want to be shown the way. So
right.
Some people won't mind having a mentor, but once the mentor starts to sun them, that's when the problem comes in. But the thing is when you're mentoring someone and they fuck up, you gotta sun them. And that's what it is. It's like, okay, I want you to teach me everything you know and hold me accountable. But once you hold them accountable, like, nigga, who is you to hold me accountable? Like, nigga, you came to me to get the wisdom. You can't get all the jewels and not get the I don't want to say consequences, but I mean, you can't get the reprimanding when you're fucking up. You're asking me to show you how to do it. Go ahead.
Maybe maybe you have to sun them with men, but see, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna respect that. And I really never have respected the whole sunning, you know, reprimand kind of deal. Like that's just not how I came up. Even when I was wrong, I didn't get like reprimanded and checked. You know, we're gonna have a conversation so you can understand where you fucked up and why. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's
that's
not
the reprimanding.
chastising. Huh?
Sometimes it has, but see, that's the point. When people are doing wrong, they just want to go past the wrong. But sometimes you got to take that ass whooping. And that's the humility of it all.
I don't want to go past the wrong. We can definitely discuss the wrong, but like,
Amber, sometimes in opposed to people getting into a fight, like, I have friends. They want to be able to fuck up in my life and their life, and they want me to just say, hey, dude, you fucked up. You're bad. But sometimes it ain't gonna work that way. When you fuck up in your life, when you come and fuck up in my life and you're at my house and you're doing some shit, don't try to cut me off. So, yeah, I know I did that. Like, no, nigga, I'm gonna explain exactly why you fucked up. You don't come in my house doing this. But there's a lot of people like that. When they see that they're about to get checked or you're about to address something, they want to cut you short and they want
to. Damn. Shit.
Yeah, he got disconnected.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to wait on him to come back. But I hear what he's saying. Now, I'm not talking about nothing like that, because I would prefer to get shit straight like that before you even step into my house. You know, like, these are the rules and this how I rock. You got your freedom to do whatever the fuck you want to, just not up in here, right? But I kind of understand what he's saying. But I know back when I was younger, mentors and shit was cool. I mean, I had family that I was, you know, I always hung with older cousins and sisters and shit. But that was cool. But like, you definitely had to handle me a certain way, because you talk to me a little too strong, and I'd be like, but who finna whoop my ass though? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm ready to fight because it sounded like you was finna whoop something.
Yeah. So I got my hair cut by DJ Focus' older brother. And like he just as fiery as DJ Focus, Colleen, but he's not as sensitive. Like, so he can give it out and take it. DJ Focus can't. He can give it out, but he feel like everybody's attacking him. Now, you was on the panel, no man. He will say something that we all disagree with, and when it's our turn to speak, we would express why we disagree, and we'll give like something else there. When it's his go, he feels like he need extra time to address every last one of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, that's not how that works. You know, and that's
a lot of times he wouldn't even be addressing it. He'd be adding more shit.
yeah.
You ain't even addressing nothing we said.
He be adding more vegetables to the pot.
Listen, nigga, you just stay throwing shit in the pot. God damn.
Yeah. Let me I forgot there's a new link, so let me put the link. But no, it was the same link. I just started live with her. I was trying to see why he didn't come back. Maybe his phone died. Yeah, so now, depending, it wouldn't even matter how, because I could win where I'm not digging in you too much, and I could win where I make you feel like shit. So it all depends on why we're competing. Okay, and that's how. But believe me, a lot of time I don't have energy to be like bragging. I just don't, because I don't want to be in that space that like that mode, that savage mode. So I just like really just have fun. That's why I be laughing most times when in business. I try not to go crazy on it. I be trying to laugh, but there's certain things that just piss me off.
Yeah.
But I know how to win, and say I do in the gym. I do all the time. I win, and I just take my seat on the floor or whatever to next come, and then somebody might come in the gym and say, "Who got next?" Or no, he might say, "Who lost?" And I'll say, "The losers over there." Yeah, I had that type of fun sometimes. Sometimes I just point like they did. It depends on how I'm feeling. Now I be the guy 16-0 1-on-1, and I'll brag a little bit, but I could have went worse on the guy. But I just did a little bragging.
Okay.
But people who know me personally, like DJ Focus, Khalid, like my confidence in my ability and myself, I think that just intimidates them because it don't intimidate my other friends. My other friends don't even acknowledge it because they are secure in who they are. I think when in my assessment, looking at these individuals, I don't think they are sure who they are yet. They haven't mastered themselves. Like they're not comfortable in their own skin at this point. Like nothing you guys can say can embarrass me. Like, or I'm sorry, you can embarrass me, but you can't make me feel bad about myself. Nothing. Like even my flaws. Like you couldn't even. It wouldn't even bother me. Like because I accepted myself, the good and the bad.
Okay.
Right. So there's nothing you could say that's gonna make me feel bad. Oh, she said that. Oh, nothing. I heard all the jokes growing up. You dig? Insulting things. Some things are funny. So it's like, because at the end of the day, I gotta wake up as me tomorrow anyway. So like, what can you say that's really gonna make me feel like I wish I never had that? You dig?
Yeah.
But shit, I gotta wake up every day anyway. So I might as well love it.
I heard that. Yeah, my petty ass. I like to. I don't know. I just have a thing with. I don't know how to like just make shit up and say random shit. That's why most people call me like Miss Too Far. Like, oh, bitch, you go too far. Because most times I'm going to say some shit that I feel like, oh, this is all facts. I'm not telling no lie. It's gonna be hilarious because it's gonna be truthful than a motherfucker.
Right. Now so, I had my blackout moments. Me and Rob Bourne got into like a damn pit bull fight.
Mm-hmm.
One live, you dig?
I missed the blackout, but I know you. I think you lost it on the other channel. You had to hit it any goddamn way.
Yeah, it's over now. It's over. It's over. But nah, it was definitely. But Rob Bourne respect me more than that because it was a pit bull fight. But but to be honest, most of my real friends, my true friends, we always get into like something like that first.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd be mutual respect. Never, it will never go that way again.
Yeah, smooth sailing after that.
I went there with Sosa. We never been close to arguing like that again. I went there with Haskell. We never did that again. I went there with Rob Bourne. We never did that again. Like so, it's it's like even when I argue with you, it was like that was one and done. It's over. Like you just get it out and you're good. Well, for me. I get it out, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
But some people, you know, get scarred and they can't rebound from that. And we got company. The baby unbiased woke up. I gave him a bottle, right, with nothing in it. He took it a little bit. He chewed it for a little bit. And he screamed. So I tried to make him some diluted apple juice real fast. And when I tried to give it to him, he had his hands up for me to grab him. I said, "Oh shit!" Right now, I'm at the kitchen table. He's sleeping in my lap while I'm talking.
That nigga like, I don't want that fucking bottle. Give me the bottle after you pick me up. You know, they're gonna be slick. Cry for you to pick them up. And as soon as you pick them up, cry to reach for the bottle. Oh, okay, your slick ass. You want both of them.
Well, this is better though, because at least I ain't gotta like whisper like I was doing earlier.
Mm-hmm. Child. How you enjoying it though? It sounds like you having a good time.
Oh, yeah, he's fun.
Yeah.
Like he's with me all. I mean, like I'm telling you, when I say all the time, the only time he's not with me if he goes to sleep during the day, like when I go live, like the afternoon, early afternoon, I go outside sometimes so I don't wake him up. But I'm telling you, he's with me like in my eyesight, like 95% of the time.
Yeah.
All day, every day. I bring him to work. Like I bring him to work. Every time. Every day I go to work, he's there.
That's what's up though.
When it was nice on Sunday mornings, when I go play basketball, I bring him to the park. I'll play basketball.
Is he you getting him a little ball and hoop for him to start doing his
nobody sells a small basketball. Or a small ball like
Amazon?
Huh?
Have you looked on Amazon?
I'm sure they got one, but I was surprised that I went to like Walmart and all the other stores, and they had just big balls only.
Well, you know, don't be too surprised. Like a lot of them stores, they know that Amazon has took over with a lot of things, so they're not carrying a lot of that shit in stock because don't nobody really go shop for that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Because I know if I go to Dick's Sporting Goods, I think they'll definitely have it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure tonight you might pay a pretty penny. You know, he's still young. He might fuck around, not even play with the damn ball. So you don't want to spend too much.
Look, I bought him a tennis ball, and he don't acknowledge them at all. Zero.
You said tennis ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I bought him
the lime green joint.
Yes.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, he don't play with them at all. And then I bought him the little balls that you know the balls that you play table tennis on with,
like a ping pong ball kind of.
No, but like plastic though.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
The plastic white ball.
Mm-hmm.
And when no smoke with that.
Okay.
He likes non-toys. So
you said non-toys?
Yes. So when your son goes to the barbershop, right? The barber's gonna give him a haircut, right? Then he's gonna and then he's gonna brush the hair off his face with that little brush thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He likes that. The brush.
He likes to get the hair brushed out his face, or he likes to brush himself.
No, he just like to carry it and then walk around with it.
Oh, he gonna like to stay fresh. Then he gonna have to keep his head cut.
And like so, the little brush I brush his hair with, he wants that. So that's his toy. And then you know the scooper that you scoop the infant milk out with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know how you get it, throw it away because no more. He likes that. He wants to bite on that. No teething toy he bites on. He wants to bite on that.
Okay, and that's well, it ain't too hard of a plastic. It's a nice firm plastic, but it ain't like hard.
So the washer thing he played with a lot, and then so occasionally he will go back to that, but
the bottle.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I see that he likes bright, very bright things because I got these little sticky note things. And they're very bright. And if I give him some, he'll like play with it.
The sticky notes, like the paper?
Yeah, but I got like very bright colors.
Okay. Did he get to you giving him the signals or he was like ripping them off the stack?
Nah, it's in the plastic. I don't even take it out.
Oh, so he just like to toss them around in the plastic.
Yeah.
Okay. You probably could do that with flashcards too, like the bright flash cards.
He the cars. He eats them, but he loves cars.
Okay.
So when I bring him to the gym and they got the daycare there, they got cars there. I just say, yeah, just give him the cards.
I know you said before he don't like no age appropriate shows or programs,
Zero.
like really no TV at all.
Zero. He watches no TV.
Okay.
And sometimes I put them, just walk out. I walk out to the front and just make him, and he ain't paying that shit no money. It don't matter what. And I ask my students like, what did they watch? Cause they they got little brothers, little sisters. What did they watch? They give me recommendations. I give it. I play it. No smoke.
Okay.
Nothing. But he likes seeing himself though. So I said maybe I should record him and use that as a, something to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I play
or
his
just
stuff,
mirrors, hell, just some mirrors for him to just look at himself. Shit.
Oh yeah, the mirror. He is so funny. If he's crying, if I walk to the mirror with him and he see himself and I start smiling, he'll start cheesing.
Mm-hmm. You're like, who was that?
Yeah, he loves the mirror.
Did he got you got one of those that probably would help him stay kind of calmer in the car? One of the mirror things that you could put like over the car seat.
Yeah, I got one, but I leave it in the house because he's always facing me, so it's like pointless.
Okay.
And then I don't know how to fix that. I try to put that thing up, man. That shit was difficult. Like, oh,
so I'm not talking about on the rear view because I know you could have one like put in your car.
Yeah.
Because I had one of those, but it was more so for me to see the reflection of what he was doing.
Right. Yeah, that's when I got that one you talking about.
No, I'm talking about like the ones that you put on their car seat so they can see themselves.
Oh no, I don't have that.
So even if he was facing you, he would still be seeing himself. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that.
But yeah, he might like something like that. It normally dangles so he can like hit it and look at himself.
So I ordered some blocks, like some but they're teething blocks.
Okay.
$22, man. He don't play with none one of them. Zero. And that's after I joke with you and said he don't play with his toys. I bought that. I was all excited. I gave it to him, man. He smacked it out of my hand.
I'm gonna have to look these up. Teething blocks. Did you kind of illustrate to him?
Like bite it?
Yeah.
Nah, I just gave it to him.
Yeah. Sometimes you bite it a little bit, kind of show him so he can emulate you, and that'll probably be his thing, especially if he ain't want. Not all babies walk around just putting shit in their mouth. Like, no, for real, not all of them do. So sometimes, like, my youngest was a busybody. My oldest, he was funny about stuff, so he didn't walk around just putting shit in his mouth. So when it came time to teething, and like, I had to show him, like, bite on this shit, nigga. You don't want to cry so much. Bite on it.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, so he know what to do with it.
So, special needs Christian rapper.
He's Christian rapper.
He wants to. He's in the chat. He wants you to speak on Black Lives Matter. Cause he said Black Lives Matter is evil.
To me personally, I'm not. When I hear Black Lives Matter, I'm not really even thinking about like the organization and all of that. I'm thinking about the words,
right?
Like Black Lives Matter. I think it's a hell of a mantra for us in this day and age. So I don't really have no words or no thoughts on the organization itself. I just like the phrase. I like the tagline. I think it says a lot by saying a little. So that's how I feel about that. No, I don't think that's evil. So
now I think it's about the organization. So special needs. What's your problem with Black Lives Matter? Why are they evil? And Savage said, does anyone watch football?
Yes, Savage. I done shared it with y'all before. I'm not a football watcher. Okay. I'm not a football watcher. I need it explained to me every time I watch a football game. I need somebody to explain the rules again. So no, I'm not a football watcher.
Yeah,
So
but
BLM is a scam, but all lives should matter. Yeah, emphasis on should matter.
yeah, I thought P Diddy did a good job addressing Kanye West white lies shit because he was upset at that.
Yeah,
At
I
that.
didn't even see that. So what had happened?
Yeah, now
I know Kanye did some bullshit. Like, I kind of want to talk about Kanye. Can we talk about Kanye?
yeah. P Diddy was upset at him on Breakfast Club.
But see, well, tell me what he said. Tell me what he said.
He wait, now go ahead. I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay, I mean, I appreciate P Diddy. I do feel like P Diddy got his own little bullshit about him. Ain't nobody gonna be perfect, but I guess I got to hear what he's saying so I can see whether or not the math is mathing.
What y'all like about P Diddy? I'll be like,
it's not that I don't. It's not that there's anything I don't like about P Diddy. I think P Diddy is a great reflection of the environment and the society that he's in. I think he embodies, the quote unquote American dream: pull yourself up by your bootstraps and become successful and make money and this, that, and the third. But it doesn't come without its, downsides and expenses. And of course, you can't please everybody. So he has had some complaints in the past about some of his practices and what successful person hasn't, but it's just, I feel like Puffy has done some shit for attention too in his lifetime. So I'm not quite sure if I kind of feel him chastising Kanye, because I think a lot of people mistake him being a genius for him being like an attention whore.
Yeah, that genius stuff. I had one young guy try to explain that to me, and he got done. I still wasn't sold. Like, dude, I don't know if that qualifies for a genius though. You should check out Roland Martin on Breakfast Club. That was a great interview, by the way.
I stopped fucking with Roland Martin, and I used to love me some Roland Martin.
I think you might like him again if you watch the interview.
I might would like him again, but y'all know why I stopped fucking with him, right? I want to say I said it before on here.
Yeah, because I was never a fan of Roland Martin. Did you hear when I say I like to watch people Breakfast Club interviews, even though I don't like them, because I believe like that's the best chance I got to be fair, to give a fair judgment.
Oh, you're talking about with the Breakfast Club?
Well, anybody doing an interview, like I think, but I think the Breakfast Club is kind of fair on people. But before I stamp a decision on Roland Martin or anybody, I got to see them do an interview first. Like even a rapper who I think might be stupid and ignorant, I gotta watch him do an interview before I really call him stupid and ignorant. Because you'll be surprised what people have in their mind. And when Roland Martin did the Breakfast Club interview, I ain't gonna lie, I watched it to like joke and have clips for live.
But I feel like he's very intelligent and brilliant.
That dude was on fire, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, very intelligent and brilliant. Now I say, to a degree, I kind of understand, but then I kind of understand what you're saying, but not quite, because it's a lot of people who choose not to interview at all. And I can't say I blame them, so I don't know, like, why. I understand, like, if there's interviews out there, I would kind of want to see how you're interviewing, what your thoughts are on certain things. Like, if you kind of like slow, missing the question, like if you saying anything of substance, or if you giving some bullshit ass answers, because I feel like you can kind of read people's energy. So Yeah, I can agree there, but some people really don't do interviews, so it's hard to get a gauge on kind of like who they are outside of whatever their genre or their thing is,
But
be it.
this is why I try to check. This is why when they do get an interview, I check it out to be fair, you know.
Yeah.
And like some people, I be let down, like I was whack, and some people
Yes.
like yeah. But Roland Martin, he really, I mean, I ended up watching the whole thing. Like, damn, this dude did good. Like he was really political, and he was like explaining like Dr. King messages and a lot of black things, like you know, a lot of how black folks can win. Like it was very informative. Like wow, like yeah, he was dropping some jewels. Like you know, he was showing how you know how blacks can get ahead in politics and why voting is so important. You know, for black people, it was just like I never heard it put that way ever before. Like, but he made it sound so simple. I was like, damn.
Yeah. But yeah, Kanye is a straight narc.
Oh, yeah. All right, so look, so the watcher's back. I'm gonna go on mute just to listen to the Breakfast Club to get Puffy when he mentions Kanye West. So you could go ahead and finish. I'm going to mute a couple seconds.
No. Oh, because they're gonna flag, huh?
Yeah, so that's why it ain't gonna flag. I want to get it right too. No, I got flagged from the White Lotus because it actually like is registered. Like it actually says the Clan of the White Lotus on my.
It was an actual movie. Like
yeah, and so it actually says it. Like you know, so it got it separate from my video. So my video stops at an hour. It says arrogant little niggas, and then it has a second video that says the White Lotus, and it has 7 minutes of what I played. So it got it as a separate video on my shit.
Okay.
Like I ain't never seen that shit before. Like wow.
Oh, they gonna get their cred, nigga. Ain't no bootlegging.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so going to Kanye West. Let me go on mute just to find Puffy when he talked about Kanye West real quick.
All right. Have you heard it at all, Watcher?
I was trying to listen, but I think him and homie started beefing about the contracts and shit.
Oh,
him and so I was too busy laughing and talking shit in the chat. I didn't even.
Oh, so the Puffy shit was recent.
Yeah, like well, I thought it was recent.
Oh, okay. Now, so when I was watching it, I wasn't sure if it was older. Like I wasn't even, you know, when I went back to look, I went back to look for the context of the fight. So I was barely paying the interview any attention until after when they were saying, yeah, we work with Revolt and like, you know, our bag wasn't that big. He like, oh, what happened was
Yeah, man. Come on. I heard he
said what happened was I heard took all y'all money. I'm like, what they just
how you gonna be a billionaire?
They saying he took his money.
You a billionaire and you start out with what happened was.
Child. Well, what happened with that was, man. But like, so that's the two things I remember because I went back to hear the shit. So when they was talking about Mace and Mace saying that, you know, Puffy didn't pay him. Like, I made one album with Mace. You know, how much motherfuckers think they gonna get off one album? Then he went on to be a fake ass pastor and blah, this you know.
Oh, he said all this?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I missed all that. I saw a video clip where Mace, it was like 20, 30 seconds. He was saying something about, he was kind of coming at Puffy. Like, nigga, don't come at me like that. Keep my name. Don't do that. It was, I might have to find that. So, quick clip where Mace kind of responds to it. So I'm like, damn, Puffy must have said something recent. So when Unbiased was playing it, I was half listening, but I think I was reading and talking in the chat. So I didn't even pay attention to any of that.
He said that in the damn thing. So I mean, that's at first I was listening until the part came up with Decent Tavo and Unbiased, because you know that was my whole point for going back and catching the shit. So yeah.
Yeah, we messy as fuck.
Messy as fuck. So yeah, I heard that part. So then in the midst of that, he's explaining the May shit, talking about, you know, his network, whatever, then they get into it. They going back and forth. So, at this point, it's choppy. The interview was choppy because Bias will let 5 seconds play and then he'll respond to decent time on the chat. So I'm not even really paying attention to the damn interview no more. Until the end, where the nigga was like, so this after, Bias spazzed out or whatever. Then at the end, Puffy was talking to, they was like, yeah, Angela's like, well, the bag wasn't really that big, and Charlamagne like, yeah, the bag wasn't all that from Revolt. He's like, no, what happened with that was iHeart took all the money, and the way they was looking at that nigga like, what? Yeah, iHeart had took all the money. I gave all the money to iHeart, and they took it. I said, what the fuck this nigga talking about?
That sounds like some bullshit to me, cuz.
Straight bullshit.
So let me say, I was wrong with Descent. See, I woke up this morning thinking that, like, I said, yeah, I was wrong with Descent. I was like, I should have just said my piece. Like, he said his piece about Puffy. I should have just said my piece and left it alone. Like, I woke up on that type of time. Like, damn, man, like, why I keep going? I said, I should have just gave my opinion on Puffy and business and the rappers and left it at that. I should have just kept going on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now I will say, I could tell, and I didn't get really a chance to address it yesterday. Now I'll say this. Centavo, I'm inclined to believe, because I couldn't see the chat when I went back to play it. I'm inclined to believe you was trolling the fuck out of that man, because low-key, Bias did wait a little while before he turned up. It wasn't like he did Temps. It wasn't like the Temps situation. He kept going back. He even tried to relate to him and give him a story about when he had a contract and he didn't read the contract. He tried to relate to the nigga like, no, all I'm saying is niggas got to do a better job of reading their contracts. Then Centavo was still talking. She's like, these dumb niggas. See, this why I don't do nigga business. I don't have any products I sell to niggas. I don't have them type of problems. Because it's dumb shit like this. Just stupid. I said, oh, he done got him mad now. He mad now. It's a wrap.
You see how I missed everything? I was dying.
Baby. I went back. I'm like, damn. He was doing so good at first, though. He like, Centavo, my man. Like, he kept trying to de-escalate. And then I was like, oh, shit. Next time he pauses this video, it's gonna be a motherfucking problem. Shit.
You Russian bot, nigga.
Yeah, he's like, he's like, I'm gonna always come back to this, okay? I don't know how you look. Hell, we don't know how you sound. Oh, we know you could be a Russian bot. Call that man a Russian bot.
Like, boy. Honestly, you gotta keep it a buck. We've all been in fights and arguments and disrespected each other before, even in the real world. But on this platform, it's always done with some sort of a class in comedy. I gotta respect.
Yeah.
Rarely call out just vitriol and just disrespect. It's always it's done out of sport and comedy, almost like a roast. We take time roasting each other type shit. But it was, and that's what I thought. I honestly thought he was trolling and being funny, but I couldn't even find a point where they were really arguing. To me, they both are saying the same thing. It's just every time.
Nah, when he said dirty contract, he know I'm gonna get pissed off.
That's what I was gonna say. I said, Bias didn't like that dirty contract word. He didn't like that. He said dirty. It's in writing. It's on paper. It's a contract. What's dirty about it? That's what it was. The dirty contract. Like, ain't that dirty about it? It's a contract. Nigga, what the fuck you mean? Dirty contract.
That can piss me off.
I don't give a damn how long it takes. An hour, a day, a week. Read the contract.
Would you be like this, Unbiased? Is this in the sport of boxing, Al Heyman and all these guys? Is there such thing as dirty contract, or it is what it is? You sign it. Or these niggas have no intention of treating like Bob Arum type shit.
Right.
All his contracts are up front and square, or we got to make some new category for some slick shit that be going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's up to the person. And personal responsibility always is at play. Just like you said, personal responsibility with Sean Watson's people and R. Kelly's people. At some point in time, you got to be responsible for yourself. But there's certain cases and situations where you're not going to be equipped or you're not wise enough. Like you're signing these rappers to
but the watcher, that happens in real estate. It happens in buying a house. They're gonna have some shit on your ass, bro. Everybody's a landlord gonna try to get you. Everybody, look. My landlord got me good because I just was happy to have a place. But like 10 o'clock, it was like some bullshit rule at 10 o'clock. And then another rule was like I could have company, but they couldn't like I think stay some crazy wild shit, bro. I mean that I would have challenged had I read the damn lease, but because I'm just happy to get a place, I just signed the shit. So, my point is like the people who draft a contract, of course, it's human nature to have it work for you.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's not human nature to
there's no such thing as a dirty contract. Like I feel like a dirty contract is like I signed this contract and you added on the page and trying to enforce some other shit. Like that's dirty. Like, bitch, this wasn't part of the contract. Like that's dirty. But anything that I signed, I reviewed, like, and I just omitted reading it. No, that's my fault. That's negligent on my part.
Look, no man. I was watching Cormega interview, hip hop New York rapper, and he was saying, you know, he was down with Nas and them, and he said that when he got signed to Def Jam, that like he named the exec, but he said the exec told him that he needed to sign something else, or else he'll be shelved and nobody gonna fuck with you. And he said he didn't believe him. He said, but guess what? No, man, he ain't signed that shit. But lo and behold, that nigga shit was shelved for 4 years. And they won't let nobody buy him out the contract. So now that's dirty, but he ain't signed it. He said, fuck it, I'll be shelved 4 years. And I'm not signing that bullshit contract where you take all my rights and, 360 deal. I'm not doing that. Like, I'd rather
sign that bullshit contract. Bullshit.
Yeah, I just don't sign and be shelved, and I'll just deal with rap afterwards. You dig? What happened?
You can say that there's no dirty contract. So are you going to say all contracts are clean?
I'm gonna say a contract is what it is. Like it's gonna say what. Like we all can write right now. The watcher. If I want to borrow, like Khalid said, 5 Gs. If I want to borrow 5 Gs from you, you can draft up a contract, and then you could say, "Yo, I'm biased. You got to pay me back 20 Gs," like that predatory lending shit. If I sign it, it's not dirty, dude. You want the 5 or not? You want the 5?
I'm not even gonna say it's not dirty if you sign it. There are quote unquote unenforceable contracts. Like it does have to have certain elements, but I mean, again, even as far as like you tricked me into some shit and my signature is on it, and I had the opportunity to read it, I don't view that as being dirty. Like
now, but Andy, real quick, so I can put something out here. Anyone who's ever had an iPhone or signed that YouTube contract agreement type shit, none of us read that shit. None of us read those iPhones update type shit. And if we did that yesterday to it, now all of a sudden we find out we all owe fucking Bill Gates or whoever a fucking kidney or whoever the fuck that does.
Kidney.
You know what I'm saying? Like we at some point in time,
but
so we can deal with it. We can say that to a degree, but there's been situations where people like that's a non-valid contract type shit. Even if you did sign it, like, hold up, what the fuck's going on? You put my daughter in there, you get my firstborn son rights, and you get the house signed up. At some point in time, some judge gets to review it. That's why you have these stipulations. So I know what you're saying. People need personal responsibility.
But even in that scenario, like we're still supposed to read them. Now, whether or not people do read them, like, and there was a point in time actually when I was in school and I was learning about how important, it is to read documents. Yeah, I was going through and reading that shit. Yeah. And sometimes depending on the website, I still read it. Like financial institutions, but things like YouTube and shit, like for the most part, is gonna be about like, them being able to use your pretty much your digital footprint, your information as to what you reviewed, and them sharing it. That's pretty much what they shit gonna be about. But at the end of the day, that's okay. Yeah, you can review that. When it comes to like a financial website or something like that, yeah, I'm reading through that bullshit. Like I'm going to read through it because I want to know what the fuck going on. But just because people don't read it, that don't mean like by law, yes, you should read it. Like now, whether or not people don't read it or not, that's non-cipher. But you should be reading.
But there's such thing as having shit put in contracts that eventually, once you go to court, you can get voided out. Like if you sign a contract,
yeah, absolutely. That's why I said like there's certain unenforceable elements of contracts. Like that's a fact.
All right. So and that's what that's what I would acknowledge again.
But that don't necessarily make it dirty though.
Right, but I think that would kind of make it dirty if someone was like you're fucking.
That doesn't mean the person was aware though.
Now we can split hairs and start looking for outliers. I don't want to get into that. I just want to keep it to stuff that we should be able to commonly agree upon. Just common sense. I get. We can always go into other shit because I'm not dispelling anything you guys are saying. I agree, but I also want this to be on the table, like what you brought up, that there are certain cases where there's some bullshit in the shit. So like if you get married, because there's a lot of people who have their ministers do their wedding or whatnot, and then they have these things in their contract or their clause where you can't get a divorce unless you go to certain counseling or you go through certain this or certain that. You understand? Now, if this motherfucker puts in his counseling where he has to do certain sexual relations or type of information or what do you want to call those? I forgot what it's called because I saw that shit. It was a big ass case before, but a preacher put certain he had extra rights in these other people's marriage and shit, which I feel like if you take that shit to court, you get that shit exonerated. Even if you signed it, nigga, think it's the fuck my wife. I didn't recognize that, or I didn't know that's what he meant, or that was interpreted, or that was the interpretation of that clause was. There's certain cases where it's like, man, that's just bullshit.
No, ma'am. I agree with you. The watcher. Sometimes the people who draft the contract, they don't even know that shit's not enforceable. They don't know. They think this. They put it in there. You sign it. They think it's legal. And then, like you said, when you bring it to a judge, the judge say, "Nah, this is crazy, it's bogus." But the person who drafted the contract, they really believe that if you sign off, this is in the contract. I'm holding my rights. Right. So they don't. So they don't believe it's dirty. Like they believe this is.
But and that's like for me, I was saying unenforceable because I mean I don't know of a legal term where they call it dirty contracts. Like you have enforceable contracts and you have unenforceable contracts. So I'm just saying, right. Yeah, and even whether it was intentional or not, that would fall under the unenforceable category. Like, so I was just saying, like, I don't want to call it dirty because that implies like ill intent, you know. So I was just saying, yeah. So
we don't have to. It's you never can prove intent, so we can just put that it's non-valid. So it's a good or a bad. But we don't like dirty, we don't like nasty, we don't like ugly, we don't like grimy. But there's a valid contract and a non-valid. It doesn't escape responsibility if you sign it. We can get caught up in semantics or whatever, but we got to keep it a buck. There's contracts. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But you agree that a lot of the examples that people use, most of these contracts weren't unenforceable. Like they didn't land in court and they didn't get money back. People don't care for them because they didn't favor the artist or whoever, but they weren't unenforceable contracts. They were enforceable legal contracts that the people signed.
I mean, I don't know anything about their stuff. If a motherfucker is
like a TLC, Mike Tyson, who else? Hell, even Cormega,
Mikey Garcia.
Yeah,
like a lot of people who have signed contracts. Huh?
Everybody who fucks with Bob Arum. You know what I mean? This is like, everybody can look at Mike Tyson.
Mace,
like,
shit.
Yeah.
Mace.
Right. Everybody who fuck with Trump. You know how many contracts this nigga be doing?
Mm-hmm.
And Trump University. He doesn't pay any of these lawyers. None of his lawyers got paid. You understand? Like but it's all in the contract. And he has.
But you don't wonder why these motherfuckers ain't suing him though? Like.
Because he ain't got it. And they're his lawyers. And he's not getting representation. Like, he's still hiring lawyers for the shit he's going through now. But a lot of them don't want to work for him because he don't pay them. This is some wild shit.
All right.
If he going down with glory. Shit.
All right, so now I'm going to play where, because Puppy said he's going to get back into the fashion game. So I'm going to play it from there, okay?
Oh shit! Don't I wish you wouldn't have told me that.
Nah, I had to. Because he gonna drop a bomb in the midst of that. Watch this.
No black man had ever wanted when I did Sean John and Sean to win the CFDA award. Now this fashion background. Actually, I was speaking. A lot of people don't know my fashion background, but I'm the first African American to win the CFDA award. Now this is the most coveted award in fashion. No black man had ever won it when I did Sean John and Sean John was going on the runways. It took me like 4 years to win it, and I won it. And so I'm not like I'm.
Does he get props for that? Is that a good thing? He say the first.
What you mean? Is it a good thing?
Yeah, I'm saying for him, like when he said that, is he?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice accomplishment. I don't think that he necessarily wanted recognition for it. I think people would have known about it by now.
Yeah.
But I mean, amongst the fashion world, it probably was a nice little boost for him.
All right, so I'm gonna play some.
I'm like a real designer. You know what I'm saying? That has in that getting the CFD award, I had to beat Ralph Lauren and Michael Kors. You know, and so I was saying I'm getting back into fashion. Like I'm at my highest level of creativity, my highest frequency. So I'm getting back into fashion.
I ain't gonna lie. I bought some Sean John stuff, and man, I was very happy. I was buying it because he was black, but when I got the material, the quality is pretty good. So I just wanted to say that when I did buy it, I bought it.
Recently?
No, I'm saying like back in those days. I bought it. Actually, when to be honest, when it was falling off, I bought it for like one of those off stores, like Burlington Coat Factory, some shit like that. But the button up, man, it was very good quality.
Yeah, he always had nice quality shit. And
I was just saying that, you know, that my quality and everything has to be like really up to par, because I was like, I want Kanye to call me and ask me, please send me, you know what I'm saying, whatever I've made.
Gotcha.
And then
like people ask for the Yeezys.
Yeah.
I feel like the Black Sean John velour is like that.
Yeah.
I really do.
The Ye standard. So I wanted to come back in because I felt like he held it down while I took a break from fashion. You know what I'm saying? He held it down. Virgil held it down to the next level. But you know what I'm saying? I am me, and I'm the first African American, you know, CFD award winner. So my level of things have to be at a higher standard than my you know, my counterparts that I look up to, you know what I'm saying? That were able to take the baton and turn them into billion-dollar businesses from Sean John. But then I'm saying, if I'm getting back on the court, I'm playing to make sure, you know, that's when you know it's hot, when they call and asking for the boxes. And so that's what I was saying. And then I was gonna put out these T-shirts today, Kanye or nothing. And then Kanye, my boy. Kanye, my boy.
Now this is where he need the OG talk.
Kanye, my boy.
White Lives Matter.
Kanye, my boy, is a super free thinker. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times what he means is like misconstrued. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes just, you know,
you gotta stop making excuses for him, Paul.
Yeah, no. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying that if he did it, like, that's the way he thinks. And so, you know, and I understand white lives do matter, but it's not that. That was our slogan.
What was that?
Stop the cap.
Oh yeah. Nah, he about to go hard.
I think people is taking the long route around this, and to me, the obvious answer is the correct answer. He did what would fucking sell. He know who the fuck buying his clothes.
Wait.
White
Is he
Lives
selling
Matter.
those, or he just wanted attention?
No, I think those are in production.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really?
I was dying today. I went to Wawa, so some white guy had
someone modeled it in the show. Matter of fact, Lauryn Hill daughter.
Yeah. And she started talking her talk, like trying to justify it. Like, girl, stop.
Wow.
Like,
I'm sorry.
I was in Wawa and some white dude walked in there with a hoodie. It was hilarious. It said F Biden, some praising Trump at the bottom of it. And look, now don't forget, my city is just becoming gentrified. So when you go in Wawa, he knows there's gonna be half blacks, half whites in it. So he knows that black folks gonna be like, fuck Biden, so he trying to start trouble, whatever. White guy. But anyway, I'm gonna play it.
That wasn't our slogan to go share with nobody else. And so that's the only message. We don't have to condemn Kanye or cancel him. We doesn't have to go crazy. But at the same time, saying you gotta be, you gotta understand like your actions, you know what I'm saying? And so the action of that, I couldn't put out the Kanye and nothing t-shirt. I couldn't do it on today, and I wanted to put out my first t-shirt to tribute Kanye, and I'm still do it. I just need a couple of days to get over this t-shirt. Gotcha. Because right now, we the ones that are dying.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That are incarcerated, that are left in poverty, not getting any money for reparations. And on top of that, flooding our communities with drugs and guns. And we know all this, and they still not trying to break us off, which that's the next level we got to go to. So it really ain't no time for no other lives mattering right now but the tribe. You have to be unapologetically black and love your people and love your tribe first. If you heard something was going on, your ass would be running to your house first.
That's right.
You would not be going to your neighbor's house first. They be running to their house first. We got to run to our house first, and we ain't got no time for like no internet, you know what I'm saying? Like white lives matter, to put that up against the black lives matter. No, we need to be focused on ourselves. Let them white lives themselves out. Let's black lives ourselves, you know what I'm saying, right now. And I don't think it's not the time for unnecessary noise with, him or Karen Owens, you know what I'm saying? Because this is really Candace, she Karen Owens now. That's her new name. Candace is too black of a name. She's Karen Owens. All right, so
that's what I've always respected about you, the Jay-Z in the world.
So you heard what he said about Kanye. What y'all think? Chat, what you think, chat?
I'm gonna have to rewind it. I missed that last probably 2-3 minutes of it talking to my son.
Okay.
This nigga, man.
What's the watcher? Was that good enough?
This nigga.
Wake that ass up.
What you think, watcher?
I got zero tolerance for the fuckery, man. I feel like he's putting on his velvet gloves and he wants to try to spank him on the booty, but be gentle and sweet with it type shit. If this nigga pissed you off and did some disrespectful shit to your movement, then you call him out on it. You want his fan base and you want his clout and you want, just like, stop, bro. If you really offended and you pro-black and this shit pissed you off a certain way, then say it. If that shit is corny and it doesn't mean anything, white lives, if it's just words on the shirt, then just say that. But stop acting like you pro-black, but then what he's doing is okay, but it's not a problem. But we need to talk to him, but it's okay. But Candace Owens, she's the coon and she's the Karen. Stop it, bro. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. It's either you with them or you don't give a fuck about him. Either way, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody asking you to shoot him or bang with him. Just like, let this nigga wear his shirt. Don't even mention him. But you trying to act like that's my brother. We sitting together. We people. We're friends. Everything is cool. Don't cancel me. We don't want to cancel him. We got to save him. Like, man, I heard y'all saying that with the Black Lives Matter or the slavery was the choice. And then the rapping back and forth with the T.I. I mean, like, man, come on, bro.
Yeah. Kanye West.
On, bro.
Like why would Kanye do this free thought, but when anybody else is cooning?
Right. Candace is not a free thinker. She taught him how to think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the picking, the cherry picking, she's the easier target. Yeah, that's stuff I don't like.
Right. But it ain't even just him. Like everybody, they like, oh, Kanye, he's so like. If y'all don't shut the fuck up with that dumb shit, like, how y'all gonna get a nigga alive? He ain't even coming out here with this shit. Y'all just assigning a nigga lies and narratives to run with.
Right. Yeah,
he ain't tried to make no excuse for the shit he say.
Y'all ain't getting.
Don't give a fuck.
His vision is what he trying to do is he trying to free us from like niggas. Shut up.
Right. We listened to a whole interview he did with Fox where he explained nothing about what the fuck he was doing. So why is everybody trying to come and put words in his? This is just wild to me. Don't get me wrong. He should be able to do whatever the fuck he wants to do. But when people come to cap and cape for him is my issue. Let him do what he do and let him explain what he's doing. But stop trying to cape and tell everybody else.
Kanye West as a genius and all that dumb shit. I see him as another dumb rapper. He's just a dumb rapper. To me, that's how I see him. Another dumb, no different in the future, whoever else.
No, I think
but why would you call him dumb though?
Yeah,
no, I'm saying dumb as far as black awareness.
Okay, all right. So he's unaware. I just think he's fucking selfish and fully aware of what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's just doing this for attention, for
most.
hits, keep his name relevant. Because I think, like Jay-Z said a long time ago, this fame shit is worse than heroin. It's like it has to be. Look what the fuck he's doing. Everything this man stood on and stood for, his family, his lineage, he's just pissing on. I heard somebody talking about Kanye's kids or 6 or 7 generations from now, they're still going to have money, never have to work. And they were just going on, and all that money is probably going to be all in white people. None of it's going to be in black people's hands type shit.
I don't know.
Again, I'm not saying that's my point of view, but just listen to the people who say these points and just think about generational wealth and how all the money he's making is going to be passed down like 6 or 7 generations.
I've definitely said it before.
I'm sorry?
I said, I've definitely said it before, and it ain't just him. Like a lot of these wealthy, athletes, entertainers that like y'all do not know these bitches is trained to run game and bring that money back. Like, yeah, you might be successful for your generation, but they gonna have kids by you and they gonna keep that money white whenever the fuck you get through. Like, so I mean, I'm not mad at it, but in my mind, I'm like, damn, you did all of this just to give it back.
Facts. And to be so oblivious. When they get on, they leave your ass for a white girl. You was sitting there preaching to the sisters because they're the ones who put him up in the game.
Not even
battling that 50 Cent.
That nigga was battling, telling you his moves, his next move.
Right. Right. But the thing is like he got put into that status because of the black woman. All the college students and everyone else who felt like they're sick of this gang and 50 Cent and the thug and the game and all this other type of shit that was turning the community more back into the violence and shit. Kanye threw on the backpack rapper. He changed the image and he allowed a whole bunch of other people who were on the cusp, other races and people who were on the midline feel like they can hop into the game now. You understand? And so that was a big thing when they had that 101, that 106 in Park and was whoever sells the most is going to be in charge of hip hop. And they like really gamed it up. And then Rockefeller and Jay-Z and them, they were smart. They did the street team out there, bought up all the records and beat him in sales. And then Kanye's been running ever since. And I think that shit went to his head. And like, he's just all about fame.
No, I think it's in his head. Like, I mean, that nigga had a hellified ego when he started out. Like, honestly, I feel like he's one of the most, I don't think he's slow at all. Or just a dumb nigga. Like, I think he's probably extremely calculated. And it's more so like, they say a lot of high power and position people are psychopaths. Like, they have antisocial personality disorder. I look at Kanye as being one of those people. I don't think he truly knows how to empathize. Now, not the I'm going to chop you up and because not all of them are like that. But I do think he's extremely narcissistic, extremely self-centered, ego-centered. And he just likes to win, wants to win, thinks he's the smartest person in every room, and is always calculating. So a lot of the things that got him to where he is, like he was aware enough to know that we were coming into a movement where Black people want to kind of regain their strength and identity. So he's talking about, being conscious and vulnerable about where you are, and being okay with not having and putting on and that, all that fake shit. Preaching about that, getting people tied in and emotionally invested, really relating to the community. Then little by little, he starts to venture off and starts to, become more commercial. The whole Through the Wire the whole Through the Wire video, people love a comeback story, an underdog story, you know, like everything was fucking calculated. And then turn around, Amber Rose, you know, sexually free woman, blase skippy woo woo, you know, the whore, so to speak, that, you know, he's open-minded, he's free, you know, he doesn't judge her for that, you know, turn around, get with Kim Kardashian.
Mm.
Like everything has been, in my opinion, calculated.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for him to have these kids with this woman and put his whole legacy at risk and be ran around and have Pete Davidson making him look like a stool and tat. I mean, like, I don't know if he's in control as he think he's in control. I feel like he's just a very rich, wealthy person who has some sort of intellect, but he acts like a child and he has an addiction. He needs people to pay attention to him. He acts like a spoiled child. Screaming at Sway, you don't have the answer, Sway. Man, we can go outside and talk about this if you want to. That nigga straighten up real quick. Watch that video. Watch that video. This
Do you think that anybody, I think Kim and Chris are just as egocentric as he is. So I don't think he may be in have as much control. I think he could potentially maybe underestimate their ability to be, you know, calculating and conniving. But I also feel like they are worthy adversaries. So I don't think it's really something that he gonna have to worry about as far as like the kids. Man, I think they're pretty capable of controlling a good bit of narrative. They're just as calculating as he is.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, it's hard for me to give him credit for being genius and having this shit together, or he may have a backup plan type shit, because I feel like he destroyed his legacy by attaching himself and his children because it's like he's on TV crying and you're not going to put my kids in Hollywood and they're not going to get it. I'm like, nigga, you ain't in control. If you as a man, your kids gonna be watching this type of shit where this woman can determine your kids can go do TV shows, like their mom is running their shit, getting their career ready, trying to put them on Instagram, and like their shit is already done. He has no control over it. He has to beg for help. He got to move next door. He got to start passive aggressively threatening people for messing with his kids. He can't even do shit about it. This nigga's tatting his kids on his name. Like, I can't give him the credit for.
But I don't think that it's not that he can't do nothing about it. It plays into, he's trying to paint her to be the bad guy and himself as a victim. Like, I don't think it's that he can't do anything.
In America,
about
who's
it.
buying that? In America, who's buying Kanye as a victim and this white woman as the bad guy? I'm sorry?
It's a lot of people buying it. For one, it's a lot of black women that I'm like, are y'all bitches really out here caping for this nigga? Like, she's wrong. But it's a lot of people that don't like the Kardashians. It ain't even so much that they on his side. They just looking for a reason to dislike them. See, I knew Black China wasn't lying. See, I knew, like, you must ain't been paying attention. Even with the Ray J shit now too, even though
that's my point. I mean, I feel like it's like these people, it's okay. First of all,
people still think Kanye is completely innocent. No bullshit. Like, are they playing?
See, I don't know no ignorant motherfuckers like that. I don't know these people. I know that in the circle with no ignorant motherfuckers spitting that shit to me. I really don't believe it. Just like it's hard for me. But again, let me stop. I'm in a different generation, different.
I'm in the comment section under these videos. These people is buying this shit. I'm like, am I on the Twilight Zone?
Comment sections and videos don't mean shit to me. Them Russian bots, those are dissents.
No.
Them decent tabos.
Them decent tabos.
My bad, OG. I couldn't help myself. I ain't shit.
Out here multiplying. Shit.
I couldn't help. I ain't shit.
So I want to show y'all this real fast. Viewer, no, not this one. Actually, let me play this one first. This is crazy.
Hey, Dallas, we got a problem. No, not Houston. No, Dallas, we got an issue. Asia, she dead. And that blood on y'all hands. Yeah, what's going on in y'all water?
Listen to this.
Like, what's going on? Is it in y'all food? Is it in y'all chicken? Is it Whataburger? Stop eating them Whataburgers, man. Because it got y'all niggas tripping, man. Over a basketball game? God damn, 5 times? Like an enemy? A black woman? Like, it wasn't even about no money. Just a regular loss. And then you had your kids with you. Yeah, you took them back home. You had your brother, you took him back home. Go fuck all that, man. Like, damn, like, hey, man. Like, why y'all ain't going crazy about this? Hey, where Boosie at? Where Dan Hughley? Oh, yeah, that's right. God damn. He ain't got no White Lives Matter shirt on. So y'all ain't even tripping about that.
So apparently, I don't know the full story, but apparently I think a black woman, I don't know if she was playing in one, but they didn't shot her ass up because they lost. In Dallas, Texas, 5 times.
What happened?
I don't know all the details, but it sounds like I think a black woman was, I think, I'm trying to piece it together because he was like, talking to be animated. But I think she was playing in a game and won. And a nigga lost. That's what I was getting from him. And let's find out the real story. And shot her ass 5 times. So I don't know if she was playing or not, but I do know he lost a bet or some shit, or I don't know if he was even playing, but he lost and shot her ass 5 times and killed it. So
that's some whole ass shit right there, boy.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. Yeah, it's not getting no big news, and he was like trying to figure out why. Like, so I'll go there next, but I want to do this one first. So this is viewer discretion advised, right? This is a violent video. San Antonio officer was responding to an unrelated disturbance call at a McDonald's and noticed a vehicle he believed had fled during an attempt to stop. So a vehicle they tried to stop before fled, and he thinks so. He went to go check out another call, and by checking out that call, he spotted the vehicle that he believed fled from before. Like, oh shit, look, that's the car right there.
I got a vehicle over here that fled from me the other day. It's in the parking lot.
This was the day before, or maybe 2 days. So the department's training officer said in the video statement, the officer approached the car and abruptly opened the driver's door and ordered a 17-year-old boy to get out.
3230, go into the way over there with 3161. It's going to be off of 11700, blank over to the McDonald's. And 3161, you want a morning code?
The boy put the car in reverse, but the driver's door still open, and the officer opened fire on the vehicle as the driver appears to leave the scene. It was kind of crazy.
Get out of the car.
So now I had to show this video. You see, the dude is not black, right? That's why I want to show this video. This is how they do. Okay, some of them.
Get out of the car.
Clearly not black. That motherfucker, I don't know what pisses officer to start blasting like that at the dude's head.
That nigga was eating a cheeseburger?
Yeah, word. You dig?
2 hands on the cheeseburger?
Yeah, I don't know. And like the cop not even in the way of the car when it backed away. It wasn't, his life wasn't in danger.
Shots fired.
He kept shooting. So the driver suffered multiple gunshot wounds and is currently hospitalized.
Smart.
Oh yeah,
get away.
The 70-year-old passenger was uninjured.
Shots fired.
Crazy ass cop, man.
You shot, nigga.
Yeah, right. So the officer was fired, and in a statement, San Antonio police officer chief, this is Texas too. McManus, this is the Denver Broncos kicker and shit. Said the actions do not align with our training tactics and procedures. I think that was like really wild, but that's what.
No. Their procedures, their tactics and procedures are not to be shooting white people.
Yeah, right.
Now, if it was black people, they got fired.
Like he gets fired. I wonder if he did any jail time. Okay, there we go. So the police charged the driver. He was still charged. Police charged the driver with evading detention with a vehicle and assault on a peace officer. Wow. It's not clear if he has obtained an attorney. So
I'll take that case. So
they say he assaulted a peace officer.
Nah, he was evading to try to survive. If he would have stayed there, he would have finished off the magazine and reloaded, and it wouldn't be a story.
The officer could not be reached for comment. Wow, nigga not in jail, nothing.
Yeah, he's gonna get transferred and reinstated in a year.
All right, so now this
Thanks for watching our
this next video Haskell will love. This right here.
Kings and queens, jets, kids, and teens, I am back with That Is Fool Ass Sky, and today we have Miss Erica Banks in the office. The last time we had Banks in the office, she explained to us that she did not invite her skinny friends out to the club because they did not fit the BBL criteria. Here it is now, multiple weeks later. Her now ex-boyfriend, the rapper Finesse, explains to us that he broke up with Erica Banks because she did not fit his femininity criteria.
Too much male toxicity for this woman, he says. Listen.
Check this out. Listen, if I'm chopping with you and you a female, man, and you know what I'm saying, we having a decent conversation, man, you know what I'm saying, I'm an old man, I ain't now one of these young new dumb rappers, man, you know what I'm saying, like, don't be calling me gang, don't be calling me no motherfucking simp, don't say boy please, I take offense to all this, I don't play like that, don't play with me like that, like, don't do that, like, I'm a grown I'm a cold-blooded man, like, I ain't no young I ain't no little boy, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And cause I'm looking for a woman if I'm talking to you. Like, I ain't looking for no motherfucking man. I don't need you talking about gang this and simp this and boy please this and I'm looking for a feminine female, man, when I'm chopping with you, man. You know what I'm saying? That what made the last.
So he basically explained that Erica alleged masculine ways ended their relationship. Erica went on to retweet on Twitter 2 days ago. Many people are.
This nigga got rid of the chick because he said she was too masculine.
but truth be told, that ain't got nothing to do with masculinity though. Like that's just disrespectful. Like,
thank you.
All right, so now I want to go here. Stephen A. was on Breakfast Club recently too. So Breakfast Club on fire. They got Roland, Puffy, Stephen A. They rolling everybody. So Stephen A. addressed the Ime Udoka thing, right? So now we get more insight.
Coach Okie Dokie.
Why?
Yeah.
Now, because you've always been like a private person personally.
Yeah, I still Muhammad Ali and his relationship with Muhammad Ali, and then
so I like his story because I didn't know, like, he grew up dyslexic, and he said that his family were just a bunch of people that was in the educational field. You dig? So his aunt taught him how to read and write herself, like, and they were all like experts in those fields. And as you can see, like, he's very articulate, got the word play, whatever, the word salad. But yeah, he said that he had problems like learning, and his aunt took it upon herself to teach him herself, know how to read and write. So, and then now we got Stephen A. today.
Because I saw him doing everything, you know, to see my way.
And
I always believed that, but teacher and Linda literally taught me how to read and write.
Wow.
You heard it for yourself. Let me back it up a little bit.
Articulate people speaking on television.
Right, well, let me stick with this.
How'd you overcome the dyslexia, though? Because you're one of the most articulate people speaking on television today.
My older sister, Linda, she was a teacher back in the day. My sister Carmen is a teacher now. My sister Abigail's in the education system as a superintendent. But Linda was a teacher, and Linda literally taught me how to read and write.
Wow.
And one of my best friends growing up, his name was Ronnie. His big brother Tiver was also brilliant. So whenever I was over his house, Tiver was a brilliant dude, and he would teach me how to read. And then I'd come home to Linda, and Linda would sit me down 4 or 5 days a week. She said, "We're gonna overcome this." And you know, she would teach me how to read and write. And then in the 7th grade, I had a teacher that told my mother during the parent teachers night, he said, "He ain't stupid, not at all." She said, "He's not focused, he drifts. He doesn't focus and concentrate on things that bore him. But when he's interested in something, he's locked in, and he don't miss anything when he's
so now that's the part when black folks said they say something wrong with, you know, think they got to change the school system. That right there is true. It's that part, because I think, you know, black people want to read shit that relates to them.
Find what he's interested in and watch what you have.
How many times do you argue with your sisters? Like, how was your house growing up? Because you like to argue.
Here's the deal.
I'm gonna skip up.
Tiger stuff came out.
I thought that was interesting. So anyway, he's saying how he got his big break in sports media. He's saying like they put him on the Tiger shit. The Tiger was, you know, his little scandal. And he's like, that's fucked up. You gonna see, he said a bunch of women a bunch of women journalists out there like covering Tiger story, and he's the only male in the room. You know what I mean? They put him in the hot seat, and they want to know what he gonna say about Tiger. So he said like they basically like try to set him up. He hold on to every word he's gonna say, and he did the best he can do. But he said like that was like his breakthrough, how he handled the Tiger shit. So I'm gonna go.
What's radio? This bar. All this back in those days. Audience, the only man.
See, only man
in the entire studio.
Right.
There wasn't a male inside. I was the only speck of testosterone. It was. I grew up around this.
Mm-hmm.
My mother. The subject.
I love to be the only woman.
Yeah.
In the room, and so I love the reverse when that happens.
Look, we don't. It's some scary. It's scary as hell. I mean, to this day. And I'm like, I'm walking in the studio. I'm like, there's nothing I can say. I'm available. And all of y'all can relate to this with the great show y'all been doing for years. Listen, you know how many people disagree with me every day, or what situation? I avoid it all you want to. TNT coming up, bro. Season from that, and so for me, you damn right I touched on it. But
he finally touched on the Tiger Woods story, and he has his own little podcast that got nothing to do with Disney and ESPN. It's called No Mercy, and I found that interesting because Shannon Sharp and Skip, the intro is Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne's song is called No Mercy. You know, he raps for Skip and Shannon. I'm like, wow, Stephen A. called this shit No Mercy. Like, wow, that was very interesting, yo.
That's petty.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck was that about? Very, very interesting, but it's supposed to be more political. So I'm glad I watched this again. I definitely want to check it out. Like I said, I give, and when Angelique dropped her own show, I like her. I'm gonna check her out. I'm gonna give them a chance for, you know what I mean? If I'm gonna be turned off, let me just give them a chance. I'm not a fan of you. I'm gonna check out Stephen A. See what they got. If I don't like it, I keep it pushing.
You like Angela Yee?
Yeah. I love her role on the Breakfast Club. I'm mad she's leaving because I think she's like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love her in Breakfast Club. I love her.
I was gonna say the other night, I said Breakfast Club wouldn't be shit without Charlamagne. Messy ass.
Yeah, I love her. You know, I love all three of them. Yeah, I hate when one's missing. Like I don't like the show as much. I think their questions be really good. I think all of them play a integral role, and they ask good questions at the right time.
Maybe I don't watch enough. No, I'm serious because like every time I'll say DJ Envy, yeah, he can ask some good questions, or not even necessarily ask good questions, but provide good commentary. You know, like build with the person that's being interviewed. Like I feel like Charlamagne is better at asking questions. Envy is better at keeping the conversation going. Angela Yee kind of to me interjects and asks questions that either kind of don't flow or like she tries to build on a conversation in a way that doesn't really add much value. In my opinion, at least in the stuff that I've seen, I would like to see her. Now, I actually seen her. What's the other thing? It was a lip service she had. She did something outside.
Yeah, I think lip service.
I actually like her better there. It seems forced and more, organic.
I think she got to squeeze her way in on Breakfast Club because Charlamagne Envy answer the questions. But at least when I watch her, I think she's the most, because I think Charlamagne plays dumb too much. I think Angelique's the only one that like really just be real. Like I think Envy, tiptoe around the tulips. I think she's the only one who just asks the question. She ain't trying to tiptoe. She just asks the question flat out, and that's what I like. That's what I like about her.
She asked the messy questions that sparked that gender worship.
She just asked it. Hey,
but most of the time it's just messy gender worship.
I think Charlamagne be asking some messy ass shit too.
No, but the difference is his shit be messy towards the topic to the artist. She just goes into the messy gender war shit, your baby mama shit, or your boyfriend shit, or how come you ain't faithful with this? What's going on with this relationship? Tell us about your love life. It's always it always turns it into the section.
Yeah, I think
it's good. Like normally I hate that shit, but I think when she do it, I think it's like perfect.
Yeah, I don't, and maybe that's probably why, because she gives me wounded female, like
facts,
naggy, nitpicky, and that's probably why I don't quite vibe with her, because it gives me bird vibes. Like, bitch, that's a bird.
She's bitter. Thank you, Amber. Thank you. She's just bitter. You can see it in her. She's bitter. No, don't get me wrong. She has a value, and she's necessity for all three of them for it to flow. But when she takes that turn, it's obvious as a motherfucker to certain people. That shit don't track well with me, because I know
it don't give me like good journalism, or like it be seeming like real petty, messy, trying to get some shit started, bitter. Like I
every
don't,
single time.
Really?
I said, I'm sorry, every single time. Watch her interview with Trey Songz or any R&B type person who ain't flirting with her. Watch how she treats them. If you don't smile with her and it's early in the morning, she ain't in a good mood, she gonna make that shit horrible.
Really?
You gotta watch it enough. Just watch the dynamics, and you'll see when Charlamagne will get short with her because he's getting tired of her shit. Envy, he's perfect because he knows how to pivot away from what she's saying. And he'll ask the question that brings it back to the rapper. And then Charlamagne will bring it back to the gossip. And then he'll bring it back to their project. And then she'll bring it back to their love life. And then he'll be like, okay, what's your next thing coming up? And then Charlamagne goes back into your drama and your controversy. It's like and then she goes into the sex life. And then the other guy goes into the career and the music.
All right, so let me ask you guys in the chat this. So who won that debate? DJ Envy or Damon Dash?
What do you mean won? Who do you agree with?
Yeah,
I didn't think it was a debate. I thought they were both saying.
Oh, you talking about the last name and oh, that shit, child. Listen, it wasn't really a debate, no.
So who you agree with?
But Dame Dash was definitely being an ass.
Yeah,
but Envy got back with his ass.
Yeah, real quick. Are we talking about you got to be a boss and you got to own
your all that? Yeah.
Okay. His message was okay. Let me say this, because Dame is very good at what he does. His points and his messages are all valid, but he's using those points and messages as hammers to beat people up when they ask him good questions. So when you ask him something that's going to hold him accountable, he's going to pivot and make it seem like the bosses don't have to answer that. You got to be an underling, answer those type of questions, because real people don't ask those questions. You're being a chatty patty, or you count niggas' pockets, or you do. He has little. Like Donald Trump, he's real good at name calling and making you feel like it, or insulting, or making you feel ashamed for what you're thinking. And all he was talking about being independent and being an owner and a boss, which he was right in that, but he was using that to escape his accountability with a lot of his businesses and the way things turned out with clothing and record labels and certain artists after Jay-Z and shit. And he'll, well, I got the Paddington, I got the cookies, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, my son's doing this. He's always quick to hype everything up, but it's like, well, where's your other hole? You made a hole, where's your other hole? If you can't come with that, then nigga, show us something new. But it's I don't know. I like his empowerment speech, but the fact that he can't get over whatever he has in the past or whatever, it's kind of like the Angela Yee. There's some sort of a petty bitterness, something that
he said,
he's definitely petty and bitter. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But I'm trying to be charitable. I just can't.
Yeah, in my opinion, like, I agree with Watcher. Now, there's no solid right, wrong answer. But I will say, while I kind of understood what Dame Dash was trying to say, because his spirit was so nasty, he couldn't even deliver without all the vitriol attack, which made it come off really condescending, really preachy. And for you to be the boss that you are, and I can't let no other man tell me what to do and all of this. Meanwhile, you can't grow a business and really be successful without people underneath you. And I know with some men, like, you pretty much telling your employees what you think of them. You don't respect them, another man daddy. You understand?
Was it Murder Mook? Like, somebody was sitting right next to him. Yeah, he was sitting right next to him, shitting on Murder Mook, because it was like, bro, you don't see what you're doing.
It was so cringy. Like, you're making some points, but in the way that you're communicating, you're thinking about Envy. Like, he challenged me. Now I got to make him a target and make him feel crazy because you call another man daddy, and another man telling you what to do, and you know, like really trying to do your big one on this man. But meanwhile, when you leave here, you're a quote unquote boss, right? It's some niggas calling you daddy.
Yeah.
And you just pretty much told them they shouldn't be able to face their kids or their family because they call another man daddy. Like, so to me, it's like I understood the overall message and the empowerment, but it was so perverted with the nastiness and the vitriol that he mixed in with it that you couldn't really appreciate the message. And you had to be like, damn, man, like, you really fucked it up. You really fucked it up.
Now, let me ask y'all, who you agree with? Or one, DJ Envy or Killer Mike?
I don't know.
Or on the public school versus private school.
I need a refresher for that
Public
one.
school versus private school. DJ Envy said his kid go to private school. Killer Mike was like, nah, my kid go to public school, and they had that little debate or argument or differences.
Yeah. Well,
I think it depends on the area you in.
Facts. There's a lot of variables.
I'm not gonna just say, oh, public school. Like that should depend on the area you in.
Yeah. And now, if we want to talk generally,
yeah,
I can talk general. If we were to be general, not specific, but just in general, because a lot of the kids that I coach for AAU, majority of them went to private schools. A few of them went to public. I went to public, and I see the benefits of the private school and the perks and everything it sets you up for. But then I see you're not necessarily socially adept and tested as you will be in a private or in a public school setting. You're not socially tested. So when you get into the real world, you're going to encounter a lot of issues that other people have mastered at a younger age, yet you're going to be well equipped with so many other tools that you're going to be able to fast track that. So they may catch you slipping for the beginning of one quarter, but you're going to win the rest of the quarters and the rest of that quarter and the other three type shit. So if you can equip your kid with the best tools, then you're going to do the best you can. Now, those who don't, most of the time they do it because they can't. I'm not going to rock no X pair of clothes or X shoes because I can't really afford it, but I'm going to say I don't like it until I can afford it. But once I can afford it and I have 10 times the money for it, then it's different. Now, if Mike is doing it based off of principle, like I want my kid to be in this neighborhood with these people, to be seasoned by this flavor, then I get it. But your job is to put your kid in the best situation possible. There's all black private schools if you want to make it black. So he can't use the race thing. It's just, if you're going to have the better teachers who are better prepared and better schools and more money and more funding, and there's less violence, and it's night and day, bro. It's night and day to me.
But I'm going to be honest. So like Saru said, you crazy, private school is always a must. Where I came from in Gary, I went to Westside. Westside was a school that had the gifted and talented program in it for the entire city. So we had the gifted and talented program, and we had some really phenomenal teachers. So, I mean, just for the regular curriculum as well. So for me, there were no whole lot of fights. I mean, to me, there was some here and there, but private schools have their own little kerfuffles too. But it wasn't like fights every day and really rough. Now, there were some schools like that in Gary, but Westside was not one of them. So Westside was a good school athletically, academically. We won titles in the state against all types of schools, you know, like for academic shit. So it was a really good school. So for me, probably, I have not seen any difference other than like access to opportunities. As it relates to like education, right? So for me personally, I would need to see something other than access to opportunity, to spend that kind of money, right? Like,
yeah, that's valid too, because that is a lot of money that you're paying. That's a lot in most cases. Unless you get like those grants and scholarships, but to put your kid in that type of a system, it's gonna financially hit you. And then the better schools,
and if you save up your money, you can put that shit toward college. Like you know, like your child can still get this opportunity with the
But realize everything you're saying right now is majority is based off of finances. Let's say we remove that out the way. You had the bag.
But what I'm saying is, even if I had the bag, just for the if I got the bag, I really don't even need the access to the opportunity. I have the bag. You understand?
Okay,
like,
but I hear exactly what you're saying, but I think there's more than just access to opportunity that you may be missing, and we have to tease that out more, because the anecdote or the example you're using for a public school, you have to recognize that's not majority public schools. That's why I have to use general, because I know there's going to be.
It depends on where it's at. I don't know anything other than my experience. Like,
and that's what I wanted to, and Amber, that's what I wanted to lead into. So when you start using it general, we have to recognize that your school could be an outlier because maybe they had athletes, but then you said they were educated. So now we have to look at what comprises a school, and then it has to be neighborhood, because tax dollars that are garnered from the neighborhood is what's going to fund that school. So if the houses around that area make an X amount of dollars, then X amount of dollars are going to go to the school so you can get a certain amount of results. That's going to bring in a certain amount of teachers, in opposed to another neighborhood where there's impoverished. So a lot of the tax dollars aren't necessarily going to education, and it's going to reflect that as much. Now, I'm sure there may be certain school districts that don't get a lot of money, but the kids are testing well, or they're winning in sports type stuff. But I don't think that will be the norm. Again, I could be wrong, but I'm just trying to logically tease this out in my head.
But all I'm saying is, so public schools do not exist only in urban areas. So
correct, I agree.
Yeah, they exist everywhere. So
right.
Like I said, to me, it depends on the area, because there are some great academic and athletic public schools. As far as I know, a lot of people send their kids to private school for the quote unquote opportunity, and because it looks good on paper. They don't care about the quality of education. It looks good on paper. For me,
who does that? Who does that though? I'm just curious. Like, what type of person does that? I'm going to send them there just for status, not to get the education, not because these teachers are more accredited, not because these teachers give a damn. They're going to be giving out 4 hours of homework every night, but because I can brag to my friends. Because I'm gonna be honest, I have certain parents who took their kids out of public school because they got on my team to get buddy with certain people who were in the district, and they were bragging that their kids are in private school and they don't even care about the education. It's just trophies. The kids are trophies type shit. You understand? Like
my friend just resigned from a private school where there are minimal Black students, and she's like, I don't understand why these parents send their kids here. Like, they don't even care about that. Like, it's all a status thing. Literally, the school I was teaching in at DC had a more strenuous curriculum, and she taught at several public schools in the area. Like, she was just like, it doesn't make sense for what they're paying. There are some really good public schools that their kids could be attending for free. So again, for me, it's a lot. Like, I think a lot of Black people are like, of course, private school, like, that's the best option. That's the answer. People only, if you don't have it, then you don't think like that. But no, I think a lot of people need to question, why are you sending your child to private school? Why? You make it make sense to me. Show me where it's the better option, other than they have access to more opportunity. What exactly does that mean?
But also, when you keep minimalizing, I feel like when you say access to opportunity, because I feel like there's more funding towards the education. They're getting better books. They're getting more educated teachers that are test higher. I mean, like, it's more than just the opportunity to access. And I also want to say that.
But what I'm saying is that don't necessarily, like, in particular, and again, this is anecdotal, so I'm not saying this is just across the board, but in particular, these students were not performing in this class. These students were not performing, right? So
in the school or in class, like the whole school was a waste of a private school, or this class?
So in this English class for the curriculum, these students were not performing. So she felt especially bothered because she was teaching African American literature. And of course, she expects the African Americans to at least take some pride in the course, right? So, of course, she was like, well, first of all, nobody in this class is really doing the work. And if I grade according to this strict, quote unquote, private school guideline, and when students is failing, then they want to come back and tell me that I'm being too harsh. You understand? Because at this point, these kids is paying for this. Their parents are paying for this. They can't fail. So now they want her to revisit how she evaluates what people are doing, even though nobody is giving an effort in class, not the white kids, not the Black ones, but of course she's extra frustrated because you have Black people in your class that don't take an interest in the subject matter. So it was even that much more embarrassing. You have a Black teacher, you're learning about Black African-American literature. You have Black students that ain't taking it seriously, but then again, nobody is. But I would at least expect.
Let me get some questions for understanding. Is this a predominantly Black school?
No, it's a predominantly white private school.
Okay, yeah, okay. And so this African American course, is it predominantly Black, or it's just
the whole school is predominantly white. This class is predominantly white. Yeah.
Okay, so in other words, because I'm over here in Arizona, and so when we're taking these courses, especially even in college when I'm taking African American courses, and we're having the smaller numbers, and we're supposed to read certain chapters, and we're going to talk about it. Nobody fucking reads the shit. They don't have any interest in it because to them it's embarrassing, and it's easier for them to dismiss it. Like, we're not living in those times. I don't want to read this. Is depressing. And this is the white kids. And then the Black kids, they feel like, I don't want to be the only one reading this, and I don't want to have to talk about it because now I feel like, because the teacher's only going to be able to call on someone who read it. So you want to show that you're participating, but then it makes you look like the victim because you're just like trying to white guilt people to death. So like, you don't want to see the one who's going to be, you don't want to be the kid in the class acting like you need a handout or pointing out like, I'm in this bad position because you guys, you're going to be the kid in class like, man, I'm not going to show you. I'm just going to pass the test or whatever type shit. So I mean, there's a lot of different dynamics that I've seen
but
part
of the class was participation and discussions. Like that was part of a large
most
part
of those classes are. That's my point. And so a lot of them aren't going to do the reading on those books. Like that temperance book I was saying the other way with Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. That book was like 18 or 17 something. These kids weren't reading that shit. I was the only damn idiot who was reading the shit because I was actually paying for the school out of my pocket, which is another factor involved. Because again, if a lot of people, the complaint will come in. I gotta finish this, Amber, real quick. I'm sorry. It's just because I have an example of this kid or this family who parents were like, okay, what school do you want to go to? Do you want to go to these schools? Because they all played sports. And so like, okay, you were played football in Pop Warner. Now we're about to go into high school. Do you want to go to this high school with all your friends? Or do you want to go to the high school that's down the street? And the down the street one was a public, but all their friends were going to private. And I talked to the kid, I'm like, why don't you want to play with your homies? He's like, I don't think we're really private school kids. And I was proud of him. And they're white. And they're from Wisconsin. They got mad money. They own all these farms and so I mean, like these kids are very wealthy. But his mindset was, I don't like the way they act. They're bougie. So I have to concede to a point. There's other factors that I may not be aware because I never went to a private school. I'm Black. I'm older. I'm in the education field. So I look at things different. I've coached both sides of the kids and I see the difference of the quality of the kids. And then I met the parents. So I'm seeing it from different angles, but I know there's so much I don't see. But with the fact that the kids, one of my favorite kids, he's a quarterback actually at a college right now. I don't want to dox the kid, but I mean, he's a quarterback at a college, but he was just like, I like the kids over at the #1 private school in the state. And he was like, what? We're not those type of kids. And the way he said it, it let me know that he knows these kids better than I do. He knows his peers better than I do. And I respect this kid. And so I'm going to honor that. So to me, it's like outside of the money factor, most people will complain, okay, you're wasting money. You're spending all this money. You know how much it costs for that? And not only do you have to pay for the school, but they expect you to pay endowments. And you also have to make contributions and donations. And we need football. Like they're constantly bleeding these people. I was even coaching because this how much, like these parents got so much money on the board. They brought me from my AAU program and allowed me to use their gym facilities where I used to have to pay gyms, but they allowed me to use it, which was for free. I was able to train kids there, which was for free, just to get me to coach a couple of their kids so they can make the high school team at the private school high school team. I'm trying not to say the name and I don't want to be too wordy, but what I'm trying to say is like, there's more factors and I'm not saying you're wrong. You could be right. It's just outside of the money. If we move money off the table, because a lot of people feel like you're wasting your money, you're spending too much money. And okay, if we move money, is it going to get a better education? Are they going to be around teachers that are held more accountable? Is there more systems at play? There's all these other factors that go in, but then still at the end of the day, you can go right back to the kid and be like, yeah, but once they graduate, he's going to be a little shit coach. I don't even like him.
But yeah, I guess
go ahead.
My confusion is, I totally understand you saying that, oh, well, you know, they don't want, nobody's doing the reading, this and the third. But see, I guess to me, I don't understand that. I don't understand how education is this important to where you're paying for your child to go to school and they don't understand the importance of it to where they just don't do the reading. Because
they don't appreciate it.
Huh?
The kids who are privileged enough to be there, majority of them, they don't have that pressure. Now, if your mom is working 2 shifts, which there are certain kids like that, you're gonna do
hold
the
on. Like
I'm
if I
listening.
could, yeah. So I get the kids don't have that pressure. And I would assume that even if my child went into that environment, you know, new money, now you in private school, they would lose some of that pressure over time, because this is an environment where nobody behaves like this. Nobody is pressured to really do their work. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Then the teacher is admonished when students aren't performing, not the students. They're getting the quality education that's being paid for, but students aren't necessarily taking advantage of it. And I also wouldn't want to put my child in a position where they are the minority. Now, I know you have your Black private schools, but a lot of people don't feel like those are of equal quality. So it's almost like you're wasting your money to put your child in a Black private school, you know, versus one with a name. Like, what opportunity are you gonna get with that? So for me, I just kind of needed to be more than a social gateway. To me, it's kind of like pledging to a sorority, you know, like, or a fraternity. It's something that people do to get access and network, and that's cool. But for me personally, that's not something that I just value like that. Like, that's secondary.
I hear you. I can't argue anything against that. That's how you feel. I honestly think that African-American course is more out of embarrassment and shame. People don't want to acknowledge it, kind of like motherfuckers don't want, like when we were saying earlier, like, I'm biased in the situation, the kid don't want to admit when he's wrong. A lot of white people do not want to admit that anything was wrong. They don't want to admit that Trump did anything wrong. So when it comes to reading this, here we go on this type of stuff. They want to do whatever, just enough to pass the class. And again, we're talking about a very sensitive subject, so we can't whitewash all the other courses there just because some people don't like this is just a hard example to really, again, Amber, I'm trying to be fair.
No, I'm not trying to interrupt you. I had asked Saru before to explain to me why private school, like he said the goal is to provide your child the better opportunity. Tell me why it's the better opportunity. You're saying because you're paying money that make it better. I'm saying, tell me why it's better. You talking about smaller classroom sizes and all of that. Like, again, a lot of these students don't have a culture or hustle for education.
That's fair.
They not sitting up there studying and all, like, that shit is TV. The fuck? Like, tell me something different than you provide your child a better opportunity. To me, the importance of education is
to learn, to learn how to learn. You know, but I think a lot of the teachers in those programs are getting the most training. They're the freshest, they're the newest, the brightest minds. They're the ones who are taking the most refresher. I mean, I feel like, especially from what I've seen, they're getting all the research and getting all the tablets. They're dissecting stuff in them. It's like they're far more advanced. Yet, depending, because there's certain schools that are like mid-tier private schools, and then there's some that are like top tier private schools. So I mean, like, we can say money doesn't matter, but at the end of the day or the beginning of the day, before you put your kid in the class, you got to drop those dollars. So it only becomes a non-factor to someone who money is irrelevant. That money is going to be wasted, or it's going to be sitting in the bank or curing over time. And if that's the situation, then it's like, why give your kid a Honda when you can get him or
why not donate
BMW?
Whatever means you got to the public school. Like, why not?
But then that's a whole different fact. Why not just purchase one tutor and teach your kid at home? I mean, like, I'm trying to stick in the frame of.
Now, socialization is important. Now,
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree, and that's why private schools get to knock. If you'd have brought that up, because that's a false reality of socialization. You're not really socially tested. I think I did mention that, and opposed to being in a public school where you fend for yourself, which is a better reflection of the real world. So in certain aspects, they're going to be more prepared. So again, I'm not arguing against you. It's just I want to make sure everything's on the table, and I hope you can provide me something that may make me change my point of view or give me insight that I'm not aware of. I'm not either or. My daughter's probably going to go to public school. just
Yeah,
because I don't have the donation to it. But again, if I had the extra commas to drop it, I'll have to find a real nice private school for her to go to. But again,
yeah, it would
she's being
depend
homeschooled right now.
on my available options. Like, it would depend on the schools. Now, I'm not saying like I wouldn't do a private school if it wasn't available. It would depend. If there aren't no quality public institutions, then of course my child's gonna go to private. Even if, let's say, there was some quality, but the private school was of superior quality, and I know that it's of superior quality. Yeah, my child gonna go to private school because I do believe that you want to provide your child the best opportunity. I'm just opposed to the idea that the best opportunity is automatically the thing that comes at a price tag. I think people got to get away from that misconception that because it's a private school and it costs money, it's automatically better. Like, nah, it is some really good public schools out here. Watcher dropped off. I'm not sure if it was on purpose or by accident, but we shall see. Saru, you can feel free to slide on the link. I know you probably ain't gonna do it, but you can feel free to slide on the link. Maybe they'll be able to read bad contracts. FDMG Academy. Taking old folk, what? Old folks Boris and shit in the name of FDMG Academy. That is important enough, sending them to better schools. Guys, that can happen to any kids. You guys are foreseeing what the child will become afterwards. The goal should be the person. Not listen. Of course, that's why I was saying it depends on where we're at. I don't assume that private school is the best opportunity. So that's just that on that. He said, I get your point, but all that comes at the end about what your child do afterward. But the point was private or public. Again, it depends. Like, child, I can't. Oh, I'm sorry. Did Ambias change it over? Hold on. Oh no, he didn't. He said he just chilling in the VIP line. Well, this nigga sleep. I ain't got nothing else to talk about. So I'm going to slides. I don't think the nigga changed the host over any goddamn way. Yeah, he didn't change the host over anyway, so I wouldn't have been able to let nobody on. Let me see what else y'all talking about real quickly. These. All right, peace, y'all.